Shiba Inu is making serious moves. A massive whale just dropped trillions of Shiba into Coinbase, and it might have just leaked the next big price move this year. People are freaking out. The charts? Quiet. But behind the scenes? Absolute chaos. Is this the start of a breakout? Is Coinbase gearing up for something huge? And what does this mean for Shiba Inu holders right now? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Something big just happened in the world of Shiba Inu, and it's got everyone talking. In a move that shook the crypto space, over 2.5 trillion Shiba Inu tokens, worth about $31 million, were transferred to Coinbase Institutional. That's right, a single transaction. This kind of massive movement isn't something you see every day. It's not normal market activity, and when something like this happens, it makes sense why people immediately start paying attention. Whales don't just move that much Shiba Inu for no reason. So, what's really going on here? Is this the start of something bigger? Is this connected to the new Shibarium update that's been making waves? Could it have something to do with one of Shiba Inu's key metrics hitting a new all-time high? And what about Bitcoin? Because some wild stuff is happening there too, and believe it or not, it's all tied back to Shiba Inu. Before we try to make sense of that huge Shiba Inu transfer, there's something else we need to look at, because it could be the reason that move happened at all. The Shiba Inu team just rolled out a major update to both PuppyNet and the Shibarium mainnet nodes. The update came with a pretty clear message to node operators. Update now. It wasn't just a routine patch, it was urgent. Part of this update finally fixes a big issue that's been frustrating mobile users for a while. If you've ever tried sending Shiba Inu on MetaMask and had it fail, you're not alone. There was a bug that blocked transactions because of a missing feature in Shibarium's system. That's now resolved. Everything's back on track. And recently, they also fixed another headache. Mainnet snapshots were missing from the Shibarium site, which caused some confusion. That's now sorted too. All of this points to one thing. The network is getting more stable, more usable, and more ready for serious action. When these kinds of problems get cleaned up, it sends a signal, not just to regular users, but to the big players watching from the sidelines. So that massive $31 million transfer to Coinbase? Yeah, it's starting to make more sense now. But before we get into the real reason behind that massive Coinbase transfer, there's one more piece of the puzzle we can't ignore. It might seem small at first, but it's actually huge. A Twitter user pointed out something that kind of flew under the radar, but it shouldn't have. They posted, "New all-time high. The number of on-chain Shiba Inu holders just hit 1.5 million wallets, the highest ever recorded." And then they added, "Shiba Inu continues to grow with unstoppable momentum." That's not just hype, that's a real verifiable number. And it means more people are holding Shiba Inu now than at any other time in its history. More wallets, more belief, more interest. Now combine that with the Shibarium update we just talked about, where the network just got smoother, faster, and more reliable. And suddenly it all clicks. The network is finally stable, and the community is growing at its fastest pace ever. That's why there's so much buzz. That's why eyes are on Shiba Inu again. And that's why a massive transaction like the one to Coinbase makes people stop and wonder, is something big about to happen? And now, it's finally time to talk about what might actually be going on. So here's what we know for sure. According to Whale Alert, 2.5 trillion Shiba Inu transferred from unknown wallet to Coinbase Institutional. That's over 30 million US dollars, sent in a single move from a mystery wallet straight to one of the biggest platforms in the game. And well, when something that big happens, the first thing people do is panic. And it's kind of expected. Anytime a whale moves that much Shiba Inu to an exchange, the immediate thought is, they're about to dump. People assume it's a sell-off coming, price crash next, chaos incoming. That's just how the internet reacts. Fast, emotional, dramatic. It's always like that at first. But this time, something didn't quite fit that story. As more details came out, it became clear this transaction wasn't about a quick sale. It wasn't a panic move or someone cashing out. It was linked to Coinbase Institutional, a platform that isn't for casual traders. It's for high net worth individuals, funds, and serious players. And that changes the story entirely. This kind of move usually means one thing. A large investor or fund is either preparing to securely hold Shiba Inu, or they're getting ready to make a longer-term play. It could just be a transfer from a cold wallet into Coinbase custody for safer storage. Nothing to do with selling. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because if Coinbase Institutional is involved, And a whale is making this kind of move now. It raises the question. Is Coinbase preparing for something big with Shiba Inu? When exchanges start doing things quietly in the background, it usually means they know something the public doesn't. Maybe a partnership, a feature rollout, or some kind of integration. A pure speculation at this point, but it's always behind the scenes at first. And that's what makes this moment feel so exciting. This isn't just noise. There's something real happening with Shiba Inu, and we might just be at the edge of seeing it unfold. Now, if you're looking at the Shiba Inu price chart right now, you might be thinking, wait, nothing huge is happening. And yeah, in the last 24 hours, the price hasn't done anything wild. It looks calm. But here's the thing. Underneath that calm, something's definitely moving. Shiba Inu's trading volume has jumped nearly 90%, hitting around $271 million in just a day. That kind of volume doesn't show up without reason. People are buying, selling, positioning. It means attention is back and the market's getting active again. But here's the twist. It's not just about Shiba Inu. What's really wild is what's happening outside the Shiba Inu world, and how it could change everything. It was just revealed that Apple, X, Airbnb, and Google are reportedly in early talks to integrate stablecoins. And let that sink in for a second. These are some of the biggest companies on the planet, tech giants that touch almost every part of our lives. And they're looking at crypto payments. For real. A move like this means big tech isn't just curious anymore. They're planning. They're preparing. This would mark a massive step toward crypto becoming part of everyday life. Just a few years ago, even suggesting something like this would have sounded crazy. People would have laughed it off. And now, it's actually happening. That's why so many people still can't believe it. The doors are opening, and the timing of everything, Shiba Inu volume, whale moves, Shibarium upgrades, it's all happening at once. And that's what makes this moment feel so big. Now, while everything we've talked about points to something big building up in the market, there's one thing we can't ignore when trying to understand where it's all heading, and that's Bitcoin. You just can't talk about Shiba Inu or any other crypto without looking at what Bitcoin is doing. It's still the king. When Bitcoin moves, the entire market follows. It sets the tone, whether we like it or not. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting around $100,000. No wild swings, no crashes, no moonshots, just calm. And that calm? It's the kind that makes people nervous. It's like everyone's holding their breath, waiting to see what's coming next. And then, just as the space is heating up again, a well-known crypto analyst on Twitter drops this bombshell. I assume Bitcoin will be trading around the 140 to 150,000 level by September or October 2025. The rally from 100K to 150K will be legendary and life-changing. That's a bold prediction, but if it happens, yeah, it really would be legendary. And when you zoom out and look at everything we've talked about, the Shibarium updates making the network smoother, the all-time high in Shiba Inu holders, the massive $31 million worth of Shiba Inu whale transaction into Coinbase Institutional, and now big tech circling around stablecoins and crypto payments. It all starts to line up. This isn't just noise. These are signs. Something is shifting. Maybe we're on the edge of a new phase, not just for Shiba Inu, but for the entire crypto space. If Bitcoin really does rally like that, and Shiba Inu keeps building in the background like it has been, the next few months could be the setup for something way bigger than anyone expects. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Shiba Inu update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.